It's May 11th, 2022. Let's start the update with the green onion. You can see the new leaves are growing nicely, and there's more new leaves forming. Here's the raspberry. The new canes are getting taller. Looks really healthy. And the older canes flowers are still slowly forming, and there's actually going to be a lot of flowers this year, I think. Just going to give you a close-up of the flowers. Over here's the asparagus. The flower spikes are getting really tall, almost as tall as me. Yeah, and if you look closely, you can see the flowers are going to open really soon. And also, the potato plants are looking quite healthy, actually, even though I'm not really going to harvest them. Here's the mulberry. Buds are still opening, and the leaves are still slowly growing. Over here is the grape. Buds are all still growing all over the plants. Here's the cluster thing. I think it's flowers, and not only it's from just that bud, you can see it's also on this one. So hopefully we'll get some grape this year. Here's the saffron. It's still dying back. And the blueberry leaves are definitely getting bigger and greener, and a lot more flowers have opened. Looks like we're going to get a lot of blueberry this year as well. Here's the rhubarb. You can see the flowers stalk is getting really tall. These flowers are pretty much all opened. Here are some new flowers that have not opened yet. And over here is more saffron, also dying back. I also started some wildflowers in this pot. This one looks like it's going to be a California poppy. This is probably going to be lacy phacelia. Hopefully we'll get some bees in the garden. And here's the vegetables. The broccolini looks like it has started to grow. The flowers are forming nicely. More flowers on the bottom nodes as well. I have set up the trellis for the peas, and you can see the peas are also really actively growing. The plants are grabbing onto the trellis nicely. That sweet pepper over here is not really growing just yet. Hopefully it's gonna grow soon. There's a shishito pepper. The leaves are kind of curling inwards. There might be some pest issues, but yeah, the flowers are still forming very slowly. This is jalapeno. Same thing. You can see the leaves are doing that thing. The tomato plant is looking pretty good. You can see the color of the leaves have darkened, and flowers are forming. Over here is the summer snowflake. Seed pods are still forming. Not sure if there's going to be seeds inside, but hopefully so. Here's another seed pod. And here are all the bulb plants are slowly dying back. And this one specifically is the Persian pearl tulip. You can see it's pretty much done dying back. And here's the rosemary. Still looks pretty much the same. The growth is not speeding up just yet, so it's still adapting to the new environment. Lavender, if you look closely, you can see flowers forming. So yeah, right here you can see at the tip of each of the sprouts, there are the flower buds forming. And of course, the peony looks bigger every week. The flower buds are forming very nicely. Let's take a closer look. It's definitely bigger than last week. And here's the other bigger one. I think this might be the biggest one. It's one of the first flower buds to form. And these are the smaller ones, which were the later ones. Over here, you can see all the basils are dead. I must have not conditioned the soil enough. The thyme looks happy still. And the mint is the happiest. A lot of new growth. Surface berry, lots of leaf growth, very green and covering the garden pretty nicely. Here's the hydrangea. Flowers are still forming. You can kind of see some of them have started to open. And we're probably going to have a lot of flowers this year. Shooting star variety, same thing, but small flower bunches. Lily of the valley flowers have opened. Here you can see the purple variety flowers opened. Gonna give you a closer look. These are the purple variety flowers. There should be more, but I'm not seeing more flowers. And here's another flower. This one, I think it's the regular white lily of the valley variety. Here's the frizzle sizzle. The new leaves are growing taller. You can see in this bulb there's 2 bunches, and this bulb there's also 2 bunches. I'm not sure when it's actually gonna split, but yeah, they're still together. Here's the hoya. You can actually see a super tiny new growth here. This is gonna be a new flower bunch that's just gonna form. Pineapple, you can see the flowers have opened. Those trumpet looking things are the flower petals. Yeah, looks really cool. And the seedlings of the carrots and beets are still looking good. Some of them are not doing too well, but we have some survivors.